all the dishes in this box are segregated by numbers. So each course is divided by a number. You put all the numbered boxes together, 1 with 1, 2 with 2, and 3 with 3, and so on. Now, idea is to prepare these dishes one after the other. They are part cooked, you just have to finish them. It wouldn't take long, no more than 10 to 15 minutes to put each dish together. Now, I'm going to show you that how I put these dishes on the plates at Kanishka, but you do use your own creativity and go on to impress your loved one the way you would like your food to look. Right guys, we are on to our first course of this menu. So we send you instructions that how to plate all this together. However, you could read through, watch me how I'm doing, but you could also do your own creativity, okay? So once you take all the plastic boxes out of the fantastic Kanishka takeaway box, all these little boxes are numbered 1, 2, 3. So all the ones go with 1s, 2 with 2, and 3 with 3. So the first 3 dishes are actually your canapes with champagne, which is right there. I'm gonna get it in a minute. My glasses are ready here. So first dish is uttapam with smoked salmon. So I'll just use this plate. They're giving you these beautiful little uttapams made up already. So you can put them either this way or that way. I prefer it this way. So those 2. Let's make 4. They look good. And we got smoked salmon here, which is pre-mixed with salmon roe, chives, and chili mango. So all you do is mix it all together. So the roes are sitting here on the side. I'm trying not to mix the roes because I want to put that on the top. Okay, so now the chef says you can make the quenelles. You don't have to make the quenelles, okay? I like to put it in a little, the quenelles are made like that, okay? So very fussy job in my opinion, but I like to put it just straight as a chunk because I think the rustic is so beautiful in my opinion. Okay, so I'll put that on. I'm using 2 spoons to spread them nicely and gently. And just enough quantity, it should be a kind of mouthful. You can load it as much as you want. We're sending you plenty. So generosity is something we know really well at Kanishka. We don't skimp on anything, folks. Okay? And then roe, you can pick them and put them on top. It looks really pretty, beautiful. These are salmon roes, and that goes on top as well. Okay, so these things are done. I have some chopped chives, and that goes here. Beautiful, love it. So one dish is ready. Now let's go to the second one. So we got grapes, which have been pickled nicely. Oh, look at that. That's our chicken liver pate. So obviously the fat will be on top. So you have to make this work, we will. And we got a few tartlets here. Okay, I'm gonna take a bigger plate this time. So no specific rule on this one again. So liver is ready made. It's been cooked well. So you can either make quenelles or again you can put a good quantity on top. So for this one I'll go and make good quenelles if I may. Go in, that's it. And then next one, you can mix the fat. You can what you can do is if you leave this box out for a little bit longer. I took it straight out of the fridge and I'm putting it straight in the tartlets. So you could take it out and leave it sitting in the room temperature so the fat would melt a bit and it would kind of loosen up a bit and it'll taste nicer as well. Okay, so 1 or 2 grapes on the side. There you go. And a little bit of juices if you just pour them, because that kind of gives a little acidity And liver is quite rich in fat, so it will be quite greasy, no doubt about it, but full of flavors. That sits on the side again. A little bit of cumin and the juices go on top or garnish. These two dainty tarts are ready. Now the last one is the prawn, okay? Now that's nothing but a beautiful beetroot dhokla, okay? Chef calls it lentil cake, very posh name, but actually it's dhokla. So my Gujarati fellows, you would understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so 2 dhoklas, 1 per person, though we'll send you 6 pieces. It's entirely up to you how many you want to scoff down, because you do want enough room for rest of the courses that will follow. So I would recommend just go for 1. If you're peckish, you can make another one very quickly. It's not rocket science. And this is pickled prawn that goes on top. Sits nicely, beautiful. It looks really pretty with the red, the yellow, the green just cuts through in my opinion. So that goes on top. So I would go put everything across. That's small ones first. So I'll put that right in the middle. Right, so what's left out of this is just a good bottle of champagne. So we got 2 glasses here, 1 for me and 1 for my lady. Castelnau champagne, really nice champagne. Here we go. We got duck liver pate in the tartlets with pickled grapes. We got smoked salmon and the roe on uttapam tartlets, which is made with rice pancakes. And we got dhokla, chef calls it lentil cake, with the pickled prawns on top, and fantastic champagne. The next plate is scallops and parsnips, okay? So let's get the heat going. The pan needs to be really hot. The box number is 5. All 5 boxes have come out, okay? Let's remove this. So this is truffle. So the ingredients are, of course, scallops, glazed oysters, we got truffles, we got some parsnip crisps and parsnip puree, okay? So, you know, you can put a pan and reheat the parsnip puree, but if you have got a good microwave, this can go in the microwave for 40 seconds, 45 seconds, no more, maybe 50, but definitely not a minute on the full power. And don't keep the lid on. If you have to put the lid on, just put very loosely so that it doesn't get stuck. Otherwise the vacuum gets created and it'll be very hard to open the box, okay? So, and this is a microwavable container, so you could use it. But I'm going to use a stainless steel pan, and my non-stick pan is ready here. I'll add some oil. I'm using olive oil, but you could use any good vegetable oil. That'll do. So we got 6 pieces of scallop sent. You probably will get 4. Nice, generously salted. If you are on low salt diet, don't add salt because it's seafood and it has a beautiful flavor of its own. We got nothing to do with the oysters. They have been glazed in shallots and spices and white wine, so you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything to the puree as well. All you need to do is just cook the scallops. Let's go full heat. I'm going to present only 1 plate, so I'll just fry 4 pieces at the moment. 2 per person, okay? Let's do 4 pieces. Let's not be miser here. You need to keep some butter handy. Is here. And the rule about this is you put a very thin layer of oil in the pan, and once the pan is hot, just salt the scallops and put the salted side down first. Or you could just start without salting it. Color it nicely. Scallop has enough sweetness of its own to give you that nice beautiful caramelization. Okay, so let's heat up the sauce as well. Oh, my pan is already very hot. I'm going to reduce the heat. Don't want to burn my sauce. Ah, come on. Too hot. Wait a second. You just want a quick blurb of heat. And when it's ready, it got ready way too fast. But that's fine, I can hold it on the side because I don't need more than that. And then scallops. Just have to make sure that they're nicely colored on both sides. This might take 30-40 seconds to a minute. Just make sure that there's plenty of oil around the scallop. Sometimes, like in my case, my pan has gone a bit old, so it's just kind of risen from the center. The oil goes on the side, so you have to just make sure the oil moves around. A good non-stick pan, one should spend money on and buy a good non-stick pan, especially for doing scallops and fish, in my opinion. I've always kept I call it splatter guard, to make sure that the oil doesn't go spluttering around the pan and on the stove. So this is a good kit. I don't know when did I pick it up, and I landed up putting it on fire once, so that's why that color is there. But it's a perfect gadget, to be honest, so that the oil doesn't come up too much. It does, but not that much. The mesh stops it. So once the color on the scallop is done, then they kind of come through very quickly. That's a very good color in my opinion. We can go a little bit more, okay? It's a gentle color, but I'll be happy with that. And I'll add 2-3 blobs of butter. 4. I can take this food and melt the butter and baste the scallops with the butter on it, okay? And the cooking is done. Really easy, isn't it? Okay, so we got the sauce here. The way I want to do it is split and then pull it like that. Really simple. Two pieces of scallops to go. We got plenty of oysters in this box, so you could put 2 or 3. I'm gonna put 3. And then we got a few crisps to go. 1, 2, and 3. For me, it's always either 3 or 5. You know what? Should have done 3 scallops, but because it's such a large meal, I don't want to have you bloated feelings. I want to make sure that you really enjoy this. So 3 pieces of truffle as well, and a bit of chives. So here we go, our scallops with glazed oysters, truffle and parsnips. The next recipe is of lobster. So what we are sending you is butter poached lobster in these 2 vacuum packed bags. This is the boiling water. It comes to simmering, okay, and you keep it simmering and drop the lobster in there. So make sure it's completely immersed in the water, okay? So don't worry, nothing will happen because these bags are properly sealed and the water will not get into it, but it will cook lobster at a simmering temperature just below the boiling point, or I would say for about 7 to 8 minutes. That gives us enough time to get the sauce ready. So we have sent you sauce in one of the tubs like this. So this is a kind of sauce which we make with lobster shell, using spices like fennel, star anise, cardamom, black pepper. That goes in. And I will move this on another hob so we can saute the mushrooms, okay? So this one starts bubbling in a minute. And the water should just be under the boiling temperature. So I would say about 95 to 98 degrees. It should not be boiling. It should be just warm enough, hot enough, below the boiling point. But what that does, basically rejuvenates the lobster, reheats it completely from inside, and also puts the flavors in. So we got oil in. And we got mushrooms that goes straight in. It's just a mixture of mushrooms we are sending you. There's oysters, there are some wild mushrooms, enoki is there. Here we go. There's enoki coming in here. So there are lots and lots of mushrooms in there. Let's put just enough for now. Pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, okay, and a couple of blobs of butter. That's it. That'll do. Okay, now this sauce is bubbling away. How much time we got? We got 4 more minutes to go. So this dish actually comes together in 6-7 minutes, no more, okay? And there is not much to do in this particular recipe because we just have to saute the mushrooms. The sauce is ready. The lobster is in flavored butter and it will get cooked completely in no time. It's part cooked already. And I don't want to cook my mushrooms too much. Just want them to sweat it a bit, release the flavor, pick up the butter and the oil mixture with the salt and pepper. Good seasoning. That's all you need for this. It's not something new. It's been there for quite some time. Let's get the sauce going. I want to taste this sauce. I want to make sure that it beautiful. Very seafood led sauce, okay? So we have used the lobster shell in making this sauce. A little bit spicy, catches you on the throat, but with the lobster and the mushroom going in, it'll be just perfect thing. Okay, the sauce is nice and hot and warm, absolutely ready. Let's keep that aside. This is ready. Okay, I'm going to take it out. Look at that. It's perfectly cooked in there. I'm going to take both the lobsters out because lobster sitting in hot water will keep cooking and you don't want that. Okay, so let's open it. Yeah, fantastic. I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to take one kitchen towel, put it on the plate. So when we take the lobster out, I can use my hand but use a spoon if you wish to, so that it soaks up all the butter and everything. It sits here for a minute and we go with the sauce first. Got this beautiful ladle, simple. So spoon the sauce. You can add as much as you want, but you know what? You want lobster to shine through. So just add enough to cover the bottom of this plate or bowl, whatever you want to call it. So we have put a skewer in here, which you may want to remove it. There you go. Comes off. And then we put lobster right there. And the mushrooms can go on top. It's a very simplistic presentation. Looks really cool. And something that will really give you plenty of time to sit around the table with your loved one and enjoy. Okay folks, so that was my butter poached lobster with a shellfish bisque sauce and pan fried mushrooms. It's a really simple dish, all loaded with Indian flavors. I might sound very French, but it's all very Indian. Hope you'll enjoy. The next one is lamb rack stroke lamb chops. So what we have got, box number 7 for you. We have seared the lamb chops for you, and we have put a kind of herb spice crust. Okay, so all you have to do is take it out, have a baking tray or roasting tray lined up with the baking paper in there, and this extra crust which is there, you can put it on top if you wish to, because it's mixed with spices and butter. So what it does, it provides nice moisture and juiciness which lamb rack would require, and this will also melt and make a crust on top. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on a side here, and we also have cauliflower which has been nicely cut into steak and nicely colored with seasoned as well. So I'll put that. You can, there are 2 pieces if you want to cook for 2 people. Right now I'm just trying to make 1 plate. So I put both the things together. Lamb will take anything from 12 to 18 minutes, okay? So, and the cauliflower will only take about 7-8 minutes. So my idea is to heat it up and cook lamb for 7-8 minutes, take the cauliflower out, continue to cook the lamb for another 5 minutes, and then put cauliflower back for 2 more minutes, okay? And that way it'll kind of rejuvenate, it'll come to the right temperature very quickly. So we have the oven on standby. Goes in. So let's put it for 8 minutes for now, okay? And we'll go back and put it for another minute later. Now the sauce, Rogan Josh sauce, is here in the tub. It's been made with lamb bones, spices and the tomato paste and everything. Very classic Rogan Josh sauce. Gonna reheat it. Never throw a good sauce. It always comes handy in my opinion, okay? So this sauce, in case it gets left over after this meal, you can freeze it and you can use it some other time. If you just bring lamb chops, saute it, sear it, seal it in a pan and then stick it in the oven and pour this sauce on top. Serve some broccoli or beans with that. It'll be fantastic. It'll be a great meal. Okay, now this is just all I have to do is get this ready, bring it to boil. I'll add just 1 or 2 blobs of butter. I'll put 1 only because it's already quite rich. All butter does is gives a nice sheen on the sauce. Beautiful, kind of silky feel to it, and also it improves the mouth feel. The cauliflower is about to get ready, so I will take that piece of cauliflower out of there. Done. I got my tongs here. Carefully take it out, or you can take the tray out and then have it. Put it aside, and let's put this back for another 4 to 5 minutes. Let's put it 4.5 minutes. Neither mine nor yours. 4.5 minutes, lamb will be ready, the sauce is ready, cauliflower is ready. All we have to do is get the lamb out, rest it for 5 minutes, and then plate. It's such a beautiful flavor and the smell coming out of this pan. I've just added only 3-4 tablespoons of sauce. I didn't want it too much. So the lamb is almost ready. What I've done, I've kept a piece of foil. So when I bring it out, I should have a red cutting board for this. Put it up here, or yellow will be better, but red would do. And I'll put foil on top so it holds it moist and also keeps it warm and keeps cooking it. So here we go. The lamb is, I think, perfectly cooked. I'm going to keep this here. Cover it with the foil nicely. Okay. And I have switched off the oven, but oven is still very hot. Okay. So I'm going to put the cauliflower back in while this is resting. And in 5 minutes, we'll come back, carve the meat, put on the plate, and there you go. You have your main course ready. I think both are ready now. After cooking for a few minutes, I realized that the lamb chop was still pretty cold inside, and you need to make sure that it's properly warmed up. This is looking really good. It took about 15 to 17 minutes, okay? So keep that in mind. So let's go and plate it. So the sauce goes in the center. Just to be safe, just want to make sure that I hold it properly, and so that much with such a big meal would be absolutely fine for one person, in my opinion. Okay, and I would serve this a little bit out of the sauce. Okay, and a little bit of sprinkler. Okay. So this is done. I'm quite happy with it. With a little bit of pink, nicely colored crust. Got a little brown color coming through. Really warm sauce, cauliflower, beautifully caramelized and finished in the oven. So hope you'll enjoy this main course. Rather than making small dainty desserts for you, we thought, let's give you a little hearty desserts. So we made 2 beautiful cakes for you. Okay, so they're both heart-shaped. It's Valentine. I hope you'll enjoy this, and we have sent some petit fours as well. And I hope you've continued drinking champagne, or you've saved your champagne glass each for the end of the meal. Hope you'll enjoy this. So just to recap, the desserts are the chocolate praline gâteau, and the other one is raspberry cheesecake. And we have a few petit fours to go with your tea, coffee, or your liqueurs. Enjoy your evening. Have a fantastic Valentine's Day. Stay in love, stay happy, stay healthy, and hopefully I'll see you all soon back at Kanishka. Cheers.